machining process. Okay. So before I begin, let me clarify that all the images used are collected from the free online materials. Now, when we say machine learning, what do we mean by it? Now, when we say are learning, so it is a technique of training of systems independent of us. That is, machines are will be capable of taking decisions without human intervention. Now, what are machine learning algorithms and what are its importance? It is a subset of AI which is used for various techniques. Now, one drop. However, if you are having a large data set, then the chances of its performance will improve. Predict devices. Now it will be able to automate different devices. For example, if you are having an AC and one person is sitting inside the room, the compressor will have. However, if five more persons enter the room, the compressor will automatically sense the cooler air, so it will work harder. So the load will increase automatically without human intervention. Similarly, suppose you are driving a car, and nowadays the automated system must have the capability to stop it without human intervention if some obstacle comes. Now it is used in almost all the sectors, be it defense, be it finance. Now, in the present study, we have categorized machine learning algorithms into three major groups. Other groups also exist, but these are the three major which you can utilize for your research purpose. One discussed in the previous class, and third one is the lazy learners. First one is model tree, third one is lazy learners. Now, as we have discussed earlier, that these algorithms are data dependent. Therefore, is the new oil for these algorithms. If you are having less data, the model will be crude. Now, with the help of data, you can in when we hear
Hello, sir. Hello. Sir, your voice is not coming.
of data, so you can plot it in the form of input and output. Hello.
Yes, sir. You are audible now, sir.
Okay, sure. Okay. Now, is it visible? The PPT, can you see it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Very much clear, sir.
Hello, can you see the PPTs? The
Yes, sir.
PPTs,
Yes,
can
sir.
you see it?
Yes, sir. You can start your presentation.
Okay. machining. So before we go into the non-conventional part, let me briefly introduce about what is conventional machining. Conventional machining is the art of removing material from a part to give its desired shape. Now, what are the different forms of conventional machining? Drills you on the material, thereby plastic deformation occurs. Through this plastic deformation, your machining occurs and the material, excess material is removed in the form of liquids. Now you use coolants for cooling. Now, why do we need non-conventional manufacturing processes? Because instead of using force, why not directly use energy? In its crude form for machining purposes. So, ultrasonic machining you must be familiar with, where abrasive jets are used with the help of some ultrasonic disconnected. Hello,
Yes, sir. Sir, your voice is breaking.
hello,
Sir. Yes, sir. Hello.
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 Call this connection. Hello, yeah. I can hear you. You are audible.
Yes,
Am I
yes.
audible to you?
Yes, sir. Yes. But your voice is breaking, sir. Maybe you have some network issue,
Hello.
please.
Okay, fine. I mean, yes. I'm having some network issue. So can you see the slides?
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay, fine. So in electrochemical machining, what is occurring? Machining is occurring through chemical etching. Now, what is small micro channel sparks are generated the material to be removed, and through molecular dissolution, electromechanics is removing the excess materials. Now, what laser beam machining? Lasers are used to actively cut or remove the unnecessary excess materials, and thereby desired shape is given to the products. Now, from the ecological point of view, which do you think is more nature friendly? Here, water jet machining is mostly nature friendly because residues of abrasive particles into the nature. Electro discharge machining is also a quite safe process. On the other hand, machining will have some residues left. Laser beam machining also is can be considered as a clean machining process. Moving on, so far I have discussed about the different machining processes. Now, as I have mentioned that the our present discussion is related to electro-discharge machining process. So we have briefly shown you how electro-discharge machining work. Now let us move to the modeling aspect of this discharge attributes. This is one setup which we developed at our lab indigenously. It works on the principle of electro-discharge machine. These are the tools and workpiece used for our work. Depending on your need, you can develop your tool and work accordingly. Now, the left one is when there is no discharge, and the right one is when discharge initiates, some current spikes are observed. So, a lot of researchers have already worked on the different machining aspects, how machine is occurring, how to accelerate the machining process, how to improve. These have been the area of focused on the physics of discharge initiation, how discharge is taking place, what is actually happening when discharge is starting, what are the physical phenomena that is occurring for this discharge to occur. These are the things we have focused on. That's why you can see that at the left side there are no spikes. However, at the onset of spiking, the time is captured. Now, how spiking is occurring? When the cathode and anode are separated by a dielectric, which is non-conductive material. It could be in flowing mode or it could be stationary mode. Now, when high voltage difference is applied, the nearby region of the electrode gets ionized. Dielectric near close to the electrode gets ionized. Now, this ionization process continues until a vacuum column is formed in between them. So when this vacuum column is formed, then only sparks are initiated from the tool to the workpiece. Until the channel is complete, no sparking occurs. Once the channel is complete, then spark will occur. As a result, the metal will convert instantly into vapor. This cavity will be filled with this vapor and it will expand due to the pressure generation. Sparking will continue until this vapor generation is until your desired machining is complete. Then, when sparking stops, the bubble which is created in between your tool and workpiece, which consists of metal gases, it will implode, resulting in the washing or flushing of the space between tool and workpiece. Thereby, your machining will be complete. One cycle of your machining will be completed. This cycle will be continued until your desired machining operation is completed. Okay. This is the mechanism of discharge or mechanism of material removal through electro discharge machining technique. Okay. Now, as I have mentioned, two different condition. One is the stagnant dielectric, and second one is the moving dielectric. What do you think? For which condition do you think sparking will initiate faster? Also, one additional parameter is included here. The gap between tool and workpiece is varied. As you can see, that as gap increases, the effort needed for vapor channel formation will increase. As a result, higher speed machining will be required. This increase in gap will increase the When your trick is in flow mode, since the materials are not accumulating near the tool, as a result, your discharge will require either higher voltage or lower gap. At higher gap, there will not be any discharge as it is shown by the blue color, where at 0.02 mm there is no discharge certain threshold time. Okay. Now, since our topic is the main topic of this workshop is on AI based modelings. Now, how can we model this discharge phenomena? You have seen that vapor columns will form, then discharge will occur inside the column. There are a lot of uncertainties associated with it. What are its conductivity, other properties? So this comes into picture. Now you are going to use the following models to model this highly dynamic process and then predict it, expecting it to be accurate. Now, you will be having certain input conditions, that is the dielectric material, tool material, and what will be your outputs? Material removal rate, then surface finish. All these things will be your output. Now, you can represent your output as a function of different input parameters, which is considered as the forward modeling, or you could have have a preferred or predefined outputs to obtain the input conditions required to obtain those outputs. Then you can directly set the input parameters, and thereby you can obtain whatever outputs you had preset. This is called reverse modeling. Now, why do you think that this tree is upside down? What is decision tree? If I ask you what is decision tree, what will your answer be? As you can see that the trunk is up and the leaves are at the bottom. So this is a typical example of how the different decision tree algorithms work. It starts from one random solution, assumption of one random solution. Thereby, as the branches progress, as the leaves progress, your solution will also progress there to its optimum value, and finally you will get one optimum point. This is the similarity between all the decision tree algorithms. Now, it has various classifications, or rather other algorithms are proposed based on this random forest M5 tree algorithm. Functional models. If each of these models, it will take around 2 to 3 lectures to discuss. So if you are any interested, I'll mention some authors. You can follow them, or you can follow their work. You can find out how these algorithms work. It will be beneficial for your research work. Second one is the neural network. As I have mentioned, someone is new, it will be interesting for them. Like, neural networks have different classifications. Basically, of our nervous system, how information is transferred from one point to another. So this is represented through neural networks. It has various classification. First one is the simple neural network. So simple means it is having one input, one output layer, and one hidden layer. Now, deep neural network you must have heard recently. It is having consecutive hidden layers. This is not the only criteria of being a deep neural network. Parameters are there. If you're interested, we can discuss later. Third one is the convolutional neural network. Hope I'm audible.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So convolutional neural network, any image you can take, be it a bird, a tree, or any signal, you can take it, and through some image processing, utilizing, say, any image processing devices, or you can model this. Another model is called recurrent neural network. It is having some feedback loop, context loop, so it helps to revise solutions is needed or not. Support vector machine is a different algorithm. However, its foundation, its basics is also related to neural network. One advantage of support vector machine is that it requires relatively less data set than that of neural network for accurate modeling. Okay, moving on. What is lazy learners? Lazy learners, as the name suggests, that these algorithms are not lazy. These algorithms have a certain feature for which they are called lazy learners. So, unlike the previous algorithms, which utilizes the data for training purposes, this lazy learner has a technique of memorizing the best solution. So they identify the best solution and memorize it until better solutions are obtained. Thereby, since they are not training with the help of the data set, they are called lazy learners. So instant based k nearest algorithm, then local weighted learning algorithm, these are most popular lazy learner algorithm. How does local weighted learning technique work? It is based on it identifies some domain, there it averages the value, thereby the mean value, it takes the mean value as the solution, thereby it progresses from one boundary to another one domain to another domain, it moves on until the best solution is obtained. So if anyone is interested, you can utilize all these algorithms such as the M5 algorithm, random forest, and reduced error pruning T. These belong to the model data. Support vector and multi-layer perceptron, which belong to the neural network, and instance-based k nearest algorithm and local weighted learning belongs to the lazy category. Now, one thing is very important: how if you are having multiple input or multiple output, having the different, I mean, if say for example input 1 is in the range of 1000, input 2 is point 0.1, point 2, something like that, then you need to normalize it before using it for your modeling purpose. If data are normalized, then the chances of its accuracy improve. That's why I've marked it that if you're using any data for modeling purpose, first you normalize it, then you go for modeling, then your model will be balanced. So these are some of the parameters which are inherent to these models. So just for your information, you can find codes of this algorithm in GitHub, and you develop your own code, or some dedicated softwares are also available like K9, Weka, Orange. Here you need not model, you need not code, but dedicated models are available. You can utilize those models for the development of your modeling. Okay. Now, if anyone is interested in these techniques, you can dive into Arsen Namli, who is a professor at Istanbul University, on Vladimir Valpik, who is a professor of Columbia. These professors have dedicated their life to these techniques, so if you can go through their work. Okay, now moving to the result section. First of all, why do you think this many models are used for modeling of a data? As I previously mentioned, that the performances of these models are data dependent. So for for a particular set of input output data, one model may outperform the other one. However, for some particular set of input output data, which was performing bad may perform best for the second data set. That's why you cannot point out that this model is good and this model is bad. All the models are good. However, depending upon this is the only reason why we encourage students to try different models and then choose the one that performs best. Now here you can see we have carried out twofold, fivefold, and 10-fold cross validation. This is the extended version of training and testing technique where the performance of different models are summarized. Now, suppose all the models have performed relatively good. Now, how to determine which one is the best? If the performances of the models are close to one another, critical testing can compare performances. One such statistical technique is called 2K Kramer multiple comparison. Here, the performances of all the algorithms are compared, and thereby we have found out that which model has performed best for different significance level, be it zero point zero 0.05 or zero point 0.1. Similarly, we have also carried out Monte Carlo reliability analysis to study the success rate. So we have found out that at 5% error, only two algorithms are performing this much good. However, when we this accuracy is reduced to 30%, we can find that almost all the models are capable of predicting data with okay. So this way you can validate your model's accuracy. Now, as you can see previously in our last lecture, we modeled welding defects, which is a very dynamic attribute, welding geometry, which is not that dynamic. Now, in this class, we have discussed about machining attributes, not the attributes such as the metal removal rate or volume removed surface, not those things. How discharge is occurring, how we have modeled actually the physical phenomena of discharge, how it is occurring. So as you can see, if you have data available for modeling, then you can model anything and you can validate it with fresh set of experiments. And I hope your model will be reliable and accurate. Moving to now, once your modeling is done, you cannot leave it at that. You need to optimize it. That is, you are tuning your model so that it could perform better. So usually, if your output is one, then you go for single objective optimization techniques. If you are having two contradictory outputs, one output is contradicting the other one, then you go for Pareto optimal front, which is the multi objective optimization techniques. And if you are having more than two objectives, say 4, 5, 20, 100 outputs you are analyzing simultaneously, then you go for many objective optimization. Now, can we solve many objective utilizing this technique? Yes, we can. That way, as many objectives are there. If we have more than two objectives, then we can now if you since as we have mentioned already earlier, something that we our generation has started. Since the dawn of civilization, people have always been interested in optimization techniques. So earlier techniques include statistical regression analysis, random variable analysis, response service methodology, gray relation analysis. Desirability function approach is often used for multi-objective optimization techniques in the context. Kriging meta modeling is another technique which can be used for conventional and compare its performance with the conventional techniques. Some nature-inspired algorithm, which is popular one, includes genetic algorithm, particle sum optimization, and several literature, and select any one as per your requirement. These are the references. I'll be sending the PPT so that in case if you're interested, you can go through it. And if you have any doubts, any suggestions for further improvement, you're always welcome. And if you are interested diving into any particular topic of your I'll send you the links necessary for your information. Okay. If you have any suggestions, please you can ask me now.
Thank you, Professor Das. Now the session is open for questions and discussions. Uh, Please feel free to raise your hand. We will address them. Any questions from our participants? Uh, yeah, we. Yes, Rakesh Mahato, you can ask your query.
Hi, good morning, sir. Sir, actually, your voice is lagging, so some of the stuff I cannot able to understand. So, can you explain little bit about this conventional, non-conventional algorithms again? Little bit.
Okay. This one? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. This one.
Hello?
Yes, sir, you are audible. Yes, go.
Yeah, in case if you have any doubt, you can also mail me. I have no issues. You can mail me. I will try to look for your solutions if I am having it. I'll be happy to help you. No issues.
Any questions?
Yeah.
So I think there will be no
Someone is
further.
having some issue with okay.
In the chat session. So I think there will be no further question. So again, thank you, Professor Das, for the insightful and informative lecture. We truly appreciate your expertise and the valuable knowledge you have shared with us today. Thank you, Professor.
Okay.
So
Thank you very much. Okay, thank you.
thank you, sir. So we will take a break. We will continue our next session at 11:30 sharply. So see you soon.